Welcome to Take One Talk, a podcast with suggestions and topics made up on the spot, and Take One has to deal with the chaos. Make sure to send in your comments and questions to our social media at Take One Improv so we can talk about it on our show. Now, get ready to take off your pants and piss yourself.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Take One Talk is officially beginning. I've got a Toshi butt in my face.
Is that what we're calling it?
Take One Talk. Yeah,
I like that. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So I am your host, Christian Eris, and I am joined this week by Toshi, obviously,
and Audrey. My name's Audrey.
And Audrey.
Audrey McNeil. Yes. Hi.
Yeah. So who is Take One? Take One is a group of actors and improvisers, and we do shows in Dallas. We do shows touring kind of all over the Southwest United States and sometimes beyond, doing conventions and festivals and performing at theaters, doing improvisational comedy. I do apologize for all the dog sounds. He's a bit excited.
He's our mascot, though.
Yeah.
We have to have him on stream at some point.
Yeah, on stream.
He's getting a toy to show you all.
Yeah. And for those who are listening only to the audio, enjoy all these dog sounds.
Yes. If you need sampling of dog sounds, this is your place.
Yeah, the heavy panting is not me. It is, I promise you it's a dog. So, to start off, Audrey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm always tired.
Yeah.
So I exist in a tired state.
The tired state. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, look, I find as a person who makes his living on gigs, it is exhausting.
Yes.
Because we're always working.
Hard. Yeah.
And if
There's
we're not,
no days off.
No.
And if you think, trying to wrap your head around having a day off, I think really makes you feel, I don't know. It makes you feel like you can't.
Right.
Gigging makes you feel like you can't because you feel like it's money that you're losing.
Right.
If you don't work that day.
Absolutely. I'm going to move this just a bit closer.
I'm not loud enough.
No, it's not that. They look really, really far.
Yeah.
And on top of that too, if we're not working, a lot of our time is spent looking for work.
Yes.
Yes. So a ton of my career, a ton of my job is doing a lot of quote unquote free work that is either in conjunction to a job I've already done or in search of future work. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Aside from doing con shows for Take One, a lot of what I do for Take One is for free.
Yeah, and thank you.
No, I mean, you're the same way, though.
Yes,
the work you've done. On top of that, too, and for those of you who don't know, Audrey is one of the fresh meat.
I am a fresh meat member of Take One, yeah.
But that being said, you have so much experience in improv, but not only improv, but in acting in general.
Yes.
We brought you on and then immediately set you to work teaching us.
Yes.
Which is something that, do I do work for Take One? I absolutely do, but I've never taught anybody because all of my training in improv has come from a member of Take One.
Wow. What a cool collected training because we all have different backgrounds and we all are from different cities and things like that. You're getting
a distillation.
Yes. Yeah. A refined.
A refinement.
A refinement. Yeah. We're boiling it down to the best parts.
Which I absolutely adore. But I remember Danny once was like, "Oh, hey, either Charlie, who's Audrey's partner, either Charlie or Christian can teach this week." And I was like, "Charlie, can you please? Everything I've learned has been from these guys. I have nothing to teach them."
Oh, you have so much to teach us. I think that's really what makes Take One different from other troupes is that because of all of our collective backgrounds in various things. I apologize, everybody. I have ADHD, and so I will be very distracted throughout this stream. But we have all these different backgrounds, and because of that, even all of the stuff that you do as a voice actor and all of that is so applicable to what we do.
Yeah.
And I think that you have so much to teach us.
Thank you.
You would just have to distill it down. That's going to be the theme.
Well, it's
of this streaming.
That's fair, and I appreciate that. But it's so funny because when it even comes to voice acting, Corey has more experience than me in that realm. He's been doing it longer, and I think even Danny has. I know for sure she did recordings for Crunchyroll before I did.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I think of you as so cool.
Thank you.
It's so prolific and so cool.
Yeah. Oh, Toshi, your little curly tail.
Hey,
Come back up here. Tosh.
come on, Toshi.
Come up here.
Back up here.
Here,
we
I'll
go.
bring your toy.
We just
Get
want
your
the snuggles.
booty hole out of my face. When it comes to acting in general, Corey and Danny have more experience than me. So trying to then, I always feel like the little brother, at all times, which is a cool role. It's a role I'm very used to.
I was gonna say, what if everybody takes care of you?
Yeah.
That was Toshi's sneezing for everybody listening on audio.
He's just headbutting and all kinds of stuff.
He'll calm down in a minute. We could put him in his crate, but why?
Yeah, I know why. We would miss out on all this fun chaos.
Yeah. I live by chaos as a general rule in my life.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm a very chaotic. Charlie, my partner, who's also on Take One, calls me chaotic neutral all the time.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
I think. Hey. Why'd you bark at me?
What do you need?
It's really funny. Usually when we start the stream, dude, he keeps hitting this microphone. This is going to be great. I'm actually going to have to go through and edit this one.
Sorry for the live streamers.
Yeah. And look, probably sorry for the audio only, because I say I'm going to edit, and then I won't.
Toshi's going to be a fox scarf. A fox scarf around me. He's running away to bug the bunnies.
I already forgot my point, because he is being very chaotic. He usually calms down when the stream starts.
We're doing great. Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah,
oh, I'm usually lawful.
Chaos.
I'm usually lawful good.
Yeah, I see that about you. Absolutely. I think you are.
I have tried to play chaotic characters.
Mm-hmm.
It is really, really tough for me.
You are definitely I need rules that I can excel at.
I like rules.
Yes.
Even in D&D, because I run games, I like running by the rules. But I don't like this rule. I'm like, that's great. When you run it, we can do that. But
Yeah.
for me, the rules make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Make it something I will. I'm going to be stealing all of my things for this podcast from Charlie. But something that Charlie likes to say with improv specifically is finding the freedom in confinement, or finding the freedom in form or in constraint. There's a lot of freedom to be found, a lot of creativity to be found, a lot of inspiration you can pull from a rule. So I feel like that works very well in D&D.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at our solitary comment. I can't. It's too far. I can't read it.
Oh, it's probably gonna be Corey being put my dog away.
Why is my dog out? Oh, and it's also funny too, because it's episode 1, so it's we don't have this established of course Corey and Danny are in every episode. But for those of you who are wondering, Corey and Danny are. Oh, hi Isaac. Isaac says it's good to see you, Audrey.
Oh, hello Isaac. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Isaac was at our show last night.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Great.
No, so we did do a show last night. We're going to have another show next Saturday night. So for those of you out in Dallas, you should come hang out with us. We're doing we're not doing 48 hours. I'm not doing 48 hours.
I will live there. I will be living at the theater practically. A lot of people at Stomping Ground. We'll be there.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be there.
So Stomping Ground's having a 48-hour laugh-a-thon, and Take One will be doing a 2-hour slot. Well, Take One will be doing a 1-hour slot, and then Funny Femmes, which is like the sister troupe of Take One, made up entirely of Take One members, of the feminine variety, will be doing the second hour. So we'll be having our regular crime night slot in the 48-hour laugh-a-thon. So it's going to be 10:30 p.m. if you guys want to come out and watch and have a good time. We'll probably be a little loopy because a lot of us will have been there for several hours.
Yeah, I mean, it starts on Friday. We're going to be going. Yeah, it'll be good that we're a little loopy, I think.
I'll be fresh. I'll be doing fine.
Yes, but like we know, like our Take One's fresh is already operating on the loopy speed. Like it's already.
That's fair.
We should just have the excuse that we're always running low on sleep. Because...
Oh no, I am for sure.
Yeah.
I sleep horribly.
Yes.
I sleep so bad.
I know. With all of the stuff going on, yeah.
Well, that and then like just I have insomnia and I have anxiety. Like
same.
I'm a mess.
I was up until 5 a.m. last night. I guess that's this morning.
This morning.
Because of the same thing. Insomnia, anxiety, all of that. And I know that Corey had it the night before. Sorry, Corey.
Yeah.
Carrying out your laundry. But like we're just all operating constantly. I think that's an artist thing.
Oh, yes.
Like, sorry to be so, like, we're tortured artists.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we just need a patron to...
Just cut off my ear.
To fund our lives.
Yeah, if anybody out there wants to fund our lives.
Every episode we do beg for funding from a rich patron.
Okay, so rich patrons, please fund our lives.
All I really want, rich patron, is just health insurance. That'd be nice.
Yes, yeah. I'm like, health insurance.
Yeah. So
Can
if we
I
could
ASMR that? Health insurance.
Yeah. So if we could just get health insurance for the whole team, that would be great.
Yes, yeah. That would be wonderful. We wouldn't be so broken.
I know. Like my back is a train wreck.
Yeah, your back is a train wreck. Oh my gosh. There's so many ailments that us as a team collectively have. Like I think if we put it all out there, it would be like insane. But we all have again tortured artists. We are all tortured artists. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad, but it's true. It's actually love what we do.
We do, and that's why we don't stop. It's actually funny. Like, so I was diagnosed with anxiety when I was like 19. Okay. I had it long before that, but they just called me shy and nervous. Oh. And then like an actual doctor like actually diagnosed me. Mm-hmm. And I never really met anybody else with anxiety.
I'm sure you did. They just didn't tell you.
That's possible. But also too, my anxiety was so bad, I just didn't meet a lot of people. Okay,
yes. I understand that now because I'm like almost everybody I know has anxiety.
Sure. But I didn't. So like it wasn't until I moved to Dallas and actually started, acting again as an adult and meeting other actors and stuff. I'm like, oh, everybody's an anxious mess. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, in this creative space.
Especially, I think actors are always anxious mess. Sorry, I mean that might be very verbose of me to say, but I think actors, performers, are always very anxious, but they're really good at hiding it. Yeah. We've got so much going on, but we're so good at masking.
Yeah. Okay. So for the purpose of this podcast, I don't know if I've ever even talked about this before on the podcast. We've done a single episode. Like I have this long library of episodes.
Long library of podcast episodes.
Yeah. So generally, like the reason that this was created was to be able to like let the fans get to know us a bit more than just like seeing us on stage. Because I mean that's one side of us, obviously. Yeah. Is that performer.
Yes.
So just in the interest of that, I would like to get to know you a bit more, like as a person.
Oh my gosh.
So you're a Scorpio.
Yeah, yes.
I heard all about that earlier.
I am indeed a Scorpio. The context for that was that somebody was asking a question about a friend of ours' shoe size, if I knew the shoe size, and I said, of course I do.
It was
I'm
immediate.
a Scorpio.
It was an immediate yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, duh. I know all of your shoe sizes.
I've already found out that information. Yes, I'm a Scorpio. I love it. I wear it proudly.
Yeah.
Scorpios are they're sexy. They're good detectives. They are very secretive in some ways. That's kind of that can be a negative because we thrive in secrets. We deal in secrets, but we're maybe arguably the best zodiac sign. I said it.
Look, that's fair. I know nothing about zodiac stuff.
Okay.
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
the worst?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
I saw a meme that was taking a huge dump on Aquarius's
Aquarii?
So
Aquarii.
that's just how I internalized it.
So it's hard for me to relate to Aquarius sometimes because I have like no air in my chart. But I think that Aquarius is not necessarily. I don't think there is a worse, and I said that Scorpio is the best because I'm loyal. I'm also a Gryffindor, so since you're getting to know me, I'm a Gryffindor. But I said that, but there's really no best zodiac sign. There's no best zodiac sign. There's no best. There's no best house. There's no best.
I will say
it's all just personalities.
I know I'm Aquarius. I know nothing about what that means, but I do know I'm a dragon in the Chinese zodiac, and for me, dragon's the best.
That's cool.
Yes,
that's really cool. I think I'm my dog.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years.
Right, Tosh?
Well, the funny thing about my Chinese zodiac is that for most of my life, I was like in my mid-20s, I think, when I found out I was a dragon. Mm-hmm. Because I thought I was a rat. A rat or a snake, one of the two. Neither of those are great as far as like
I don't know.
the connotations.
Yeah, I guess the connotations.
Like, oh, yes. What a snake. Oh, he's a dirty rat. I can't remember which one it was. But then I learned in my mid-20s, I'm not the most intelligent person, I guess, that the Chinese New Year isn't January 1st like ours.
No. Yeah.
And so because my birthday is in late January, it falls inside of that Chinese New Year. Or like, I'm in that grace period, so I am a dragon.
Amazing. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's kind of like when you're on the cusp in zodiac signs, if you're like right on the edge of like for example, like a Scorpio Sagittarius, or like a Sagittarius Capricorn, I think is next after that. Those are like people who like kind of can claim a little bit of both.
They're a Sapricorn. Sagicorn.
I'm so happy you said that, actually, because I said I was a Gryffindor, but I'm actually a Gryffindor.
A Gryffindor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 70% Gryffindor.
I'm a Hedwig, I think, is what I am. No, I was trying to think, what's the beardy guy's name?
There's so many beardy guys.
The big one.
Oh, you're Hagrid.
Hagrid is what I wanted to say.
Oh my gosh. I can see that actually, but Hagrid's a Hufflepuff.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
You're
know.
100% a Hufflepuff. That's actually something to know about me, is that I am a nerd about a lot of fantasy books.
Yeah. And
I sort people when I meet them immediately in my head.
Okay. That sounds judgmental, but that's fine.
It is judgy. It's me judging them, but yeah. And sometimes they change my mind. They do, but usually I sort people and I'm my own sorting hat. It's a fun game I play in here. There's a lot of awful things going on in here. I'm pointing to my temple. There's a lot of awful things going on in here. So I genuinely am like, if I have a fun game going on in there that's enjoyable.
I think it's funny because you looked at me and you started to second guess yourself. I have been told a lot recently that I have RBF, and I didn't know that.
I don't think you. Well,
So, because like I'm usually smiley or whatever, but like if I'm neutral or thinking, I look upset. And I didn't know that. So like when people are trying to figure out who I am, like learn about me, like you said when you first saw me, I was very intimidating.
You were.
And I think it was just my RBF.
It's absolutely crazy to me because you had this air about you that I was like, that guy definitely drinks beer.
Oh yeah, big beer drinker.
Big beer drinker.
Oh my
I don't know
goodness.
why, but you just had that air about
Root beer, am I right?
And then also I was like, he is like I perceived that when I first met you all, I perceived that Corey was like the front-facing person of Take One.
Yeah.
Where like Corey's like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, guys. I have a lot of knowledge. Let's go, be awesome. And you were the one that's like, yeah, prove it.
Yeah. I was the bouncer.
You were the bouncer, yeah. I perceived that, and now I just know that you're the biggest squish.
I really am. Like, I do try to have this like air of, I guess maybe it's like a facade, like as a coping mechanism or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, I am so just.
Well, hi everybody. I'm just here to have fun.
Yeah. Which is great, and I love it.
It really floored me. You're like, you were so intimidating. I was like, oh man, I've been trying to be intimidating my whole life.
I
but
did
like,
it. Yeah.
the moment I open my mouth, I always feel like that delicate facade falls away.
So funny because there's a lot of guys in the improv community at large that have the same air about them that you had the first time I met you. That's like just super intimidating, super like, yeah, I improvise. They make it sound so much cooler.
I've never met anyone like that. They're just like, I'm the best because I improvise. I don't know, maybe it's just Stomping Ground. They're all just nerds.
Yeah, Stomping Ground, everybody's nerd, which is one of the reasons I love the community there. And one of the reasons I love Take One is because we're all nerds. We're egotistical nerds, but we're nerds.
I do love, so like that was kind of Audrey's opening move today at rehearsal. It's like all of us have big egos, and I don't know. I have an ego. I'm not gonna say I don't have an ego, because that's not true. But I don't know if I have a big ego.
No, I mean, I think that we, as a group, have a big ego.
As a group.
And I think that the people who might not necessarily have big egos on the team are the ones that are doing the most to work with the people who have big egos. Because big ego people are like, yeah, we got this.
Right.
Yeah. So I really think that in some ways it's almost a flex that you all have to put up with us.
No, yeah. And I will say I probably have the most ego I've ever had in my entire life now.
Yeah.
But
you're cool. I know, I love that for you. I'm like
well, it does feel
awesome.
weird. Like it's not something I'm very used to. But it has directly come from working with Take One.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
Which is such a weird
so fun. I love that.
It's in a good way though. Like I remember at my first, I don't even know how many cons it was. I'm gonna say like my first year of doing cons. So one thing that we do is we pass out flyers. It can be a bit like embarrassing is a word. There's even sometimes where it's a bit humiliating.
Oh, I see. Yes, because I've been there.
Yeah, passing out flyers to people who don't care.
Yeah, people who don't want to come. Yeah, or people who don't want flyers. Especially in this day and age, people are like, why can't I just scroll past it with my thumb?
Right, and like so in the very beginning, I was just really nervous, and I was like, oh, I don't, I wasn't good at it. And then I watched other people do it. So like my favorites are Roger, who you've never met.
I don't think I've met Roger.
No, so Roger is a part of the Oklahoma team.
Okay. I've met some Oklahoma OKC people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he
but
is...
I don't think I've gotten to meet Roger. I
No.
know I've gotten to meet Clara.
You met Clara.
And I met one other person. Oh, no, two other people. Briefly, because I came to pick up Charlie from...
Oh, at Acon.
Acon, yes.
Who was at Acon?
Who was at Acon?
Because I think Clara was
Andrew,
at
our
Acon.
tech?
Andrew, yes, our tech Andrew.
Yes, who's wonderful. Who's
Yes.
so cool. Andrew, you're
He's
so
great.
cool.
Yeah. He's never going to watch this. He's going to be like, who did the cameras and who did the lights and who did the
He's
sound?
gonna be so mad at us.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at us, Andrew.
Don't do it. I'll clip this and I'll send it to him.
Yeah, yes.
But, so, like, I love Roger's methodology of passing out flyers is just be loud and pass things to people whether they like it or not.
Hey, take my flyer.
It's super funny. And then Kayla.
Take it. I said take it.
Take it. This is yours. I don't want this. And then Kayla's method's very, very different.
God, Kayla's so adorable.
She's very sweet. So she will, like, connect with every single person she passes a flyer to. Mm-hmm. So her methodology, she passes out less flyers per, like, minute, I guess. But she forms genuine connections with people. So
when people come.
Yeah, like I'm very much in the middle. I yell at people, I hand out flyers, but I do try to connect with them as a performer, maybe not necessarily as a person.
Yeah, that is what I have to do.
Yeah.
I really have to like put on a.
Oh yeah.
I have to give myself something to like that puts a barrier between me and the stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can really survive it.
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
So, but like, so for me now, like, I would much prefer if someone doesn't want a flyer just to keep walking. Like, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What I hate is when people will be rude. That's when it turns kind of humiliating.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I'm like, if you're not interested, that's fine. Like, you're
just
not.
Say no, thank you.
Or just, you don't have to say anything. I mean, saying no, thank you would be nice.
Yeah.
But just saying nothing and walking by is fine. But I've gotten so much like stink eye. I've gotten people who, I haven't had anybody be like mean to me, which is nice.
That is good because I think I've been in so many situations or even jobs where I've had to have some sort of like kind of like solicitation. Like I've had to like hosting in a restaurant and people just like take out things on you because you're not their server.
Well, that's the lucky thing about cons though is that everybody has kind of like signed this agreement, like we all agree to be here. Yes. And like it's a place for people to go and relax and find other people who are like-minded and to have a good time. Whereas like at a restaurant, it's just free for all. Anybody can walk in. Yes. Like the idea of like handing out flyers on the street. Oh no. Gives me the most anxiety. Please never make me do that, Corey. I think I would be okay at it now, but I've had to practice. I know I would be fine at it, but I would hate every single second of it. There are some people who find genuine enjoyment. I think we have, for example, we have Erin on our team, who's one of our new babies. She's incredible. And Erin is a very immersive actor. She does a lot of shows where she's doing immersive theater, which is how she got into improv. Mm-hmm. Or vice versa. But anyway, that's where she does a lot of her improvisation is in immersive theater. Yeah. And I know just from hearing her talk about those shows, like how much of the like talking to the strangers and engaging with the strangers. Charlie's like that. He can do that. Kayla can do that. Mm-hmm. I think that there's something to be said for like Liz. I mean, oh my gosh, Liz is, Liz is... For me, she's like one of my other favorites of passing out flyers. She's very, very good at it, and just manning the booth because it takes a certain kind of personality to have people control. Yeah, and then there's the other half of us that are like, we hate people. Yeah, that's fair. Because I started off that way, but I genuinely wanted to get better at it. Yeah, and so I'm much better when people come to the booth. Maybe I don't have anything to talk about, but I'm much better at interacting.
Yes.
But
come to me, people, because then at least I know you want to have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Versus like.
Well, because the flyers, we are forcing that interaction.
Yes. Yes.
But like, yeah. So like, so just talking about like my ego increasing. That is actually where I started to notice it first. Passing out flyers and interacting with people at cons. Because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I'm so much more confident about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, I mean, I think confidence and ego are two sides of the same coin.
I do. I think they are. I think that you have to have a certain amount of healthy ego to have confidence. Even when we talked about it in rehearsal today, just that there are some people who were like, I don't know if I have an ego similar to you.
Right.
And I'm like, but you do if you're on this team, because you had the confidence to be able to be seen for the great performer you are.
Yeah.
So like you have to have some ego to and it's not that I think everybody recognizes that they have ego, but you know, facing that unhealthy part or however, you know, you want to you know, and I think it's always good. It's always good to have ego in any performing.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I talk with, because I've coached some people through acting and stuff like that, and a lot of them are nervous or unsure, and like, well, do you have any advice for becoming more confident? I'm like, you just have to keep doing it.
Yes.
You have to. I think that's one of the things where I learned this lesson mostly through Take One, and I learned it through acting to a certain degree, but I've had more wins performing with Take One than I have really any other part of my career. And with that confidence I learned through Take One, I have actually applied it to my acting. And how I got more confident was I would get in front of all these people and I would fail, and then succeed. And then I would fail, succeed. Then I would fail, succeed. And
sorry, you're getting all Toshi butt today.
yeah, it's all the Toshi butt.
No, Tosh.
You're getting all the Toshi neck.
Yeah. Toshi thinks my ears smell good and my hair smells good. Yeah. I know. Can you lie down? You don't have to get down, but you can lie down. Oh, you were just bringing me your toy. Okay. But with Take One, you were saying.
I don't even know. I am literally at eye level with his butt. And it's a little distracting.
You're making eye contact.
I really am. I am staring into the dark abyss that is his booty.
Toshi. Oh, Toshi. Okay. All right. I get it. It's your toy. We understand. This part will be edited out.
Oh, it's too far into the episode. That's not. This is lost forever. Everyone's experiencing this with us.
Oh,
experiencing.
Great. Experiencing it with us. Yeah, I think, I mean, when it comes to, gosh, I have such a horrible personal relationship with my ego.
I thought you were going to say I have a horrible personality. I have the worst personality.
I'm a terrible person. I mean, maybe I do. I don't know.
No,
but
you don't.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Christian. I have a horrible relationship with my ego, and I have my entire acting career, and that is such a problem. I have the absolute most debilitating audition anxiety. On the flip side of the coin, if I get a callback for something, I have a very terrible debilitating audition anxiety, and I have really horrible I call them the post-audition blues, where I just completely go into like some of the worst depression, and like the people around me have noticed in my life that it's just like you're like totally not even there. It's like I get bad for at least several hours to a couple days.
Is this like an in-person audition or self-tapes?
Self-tapes is not as bad. In person, it's a lot of times in person. And that I think stems from my like brief history in musical theater, and being in that cutthroat world, and then I discovered Shakespeare, and I discovered classical work and scripted text and character work, and I'm definitely a character actor. And so I was able to kind of work through it some. So I still like audition all the time because that's my job as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side of the corn. On the flip side of
Flip the corn.
Flip the corn. On the flip side of the corn, I'm a ruthless callback. I'm ruthless in callbacks. I am when I if
Start
I
taking
get
people out.
if I get a callback, I'm like, awesome. That's all. That's the tiny little bit of like reassurance that I need to just go in there and knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
But getting through the first audition is like horrific for me. It's so horrific. I'm totally shut down. Not necessarily in the room, not necessarily in my audition, but before and after. I mean, it ruins my whole day to audition.
That's very interesting.
And it sucks because that's like 90% of my job.
No, I mean, like, so there are, I've heard multiple like career actors say, either to me personally or I've seen it like in interviews, that acting isn't the actor's job, auditioning is the job.
Yes. And I've tried all of the tricks in the book where it's like a lot of people will say, well, you have to act like the audition is a performance, and then that way you'll be able to get through it. And that has helped some for sure. And if it's an audition that I know that I am right for, because I also direct. Mm-hmm. That's my other big love is directing. And I direct theater, not usually film. I have directed film, but I direct theater, and I am really good at casting.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if I know I'm right for a role based off of like how I would cast it, then I have a little bit, I can boost myself a little bit more through an audition process.
Right.
But I've even thought about trying to see a hypnosis. I've like a hypnotherapist. I've thought about like seeking out life coaches or acting coaches specifically for auditioning. Mm-hmm. And not to say that I don't have acting coaches, but also actors are poor. And so it's really hard to pay other actors. And I wish that wasn't the case because we all have things to offer each other. But yeah, I have a very unhealthy relationship with my ego. At times, I'm the most egotistical, and at other times, I think I'm like lower than dirt.
No, I totally get that. I feel that way about you, about myself as well. No, just gonna go through Isaac. Thank you so much for sticking around for our stream. He's a few different comments that Isaac is also a Scorpio.
Oh, yay, Isaac! Awesome.
And then it's like a bunch of compliments, which I appreciate you, Isaac.
Thank you.
I feel
Isaac.
like
I will look at those when we're done.
Me reading out like compliments.
No, actually, since we're talking about ego,
if
you just want to read out.
If you just want to give us all the compliments, but obviously I don't need them. I know I'm amazing, so. Thank you, Isaac.
You said that on I'm like, now back to me, because I was gonna say like on a segue out of ego, and then I'm like, that's a very egotistical thing for me to be like, you wanted to get to know me more.
I did, and I feel like I have been. Like, cause
you have, yes.
Because I could do the questions like, so how long have you, just...
How long have you been improvising?
Yeah.
How long have you been an actor?
Yeah, but I mean, like, for me, that's not really getting to know somebody. That's just, like, stats, Like, what's your batting average? It's just, who knows?
That would be the kind of question Corey would want to ask.
Yeah. What's your KD ratio in Halo?
Yeah. Yes.
4?
Yes. Well, and can I ask you a question?
Sorry, that's all we have time for today. Yeah, no, please.
No, I like to ask people like questions that I perceive are like get to know you questions. Can you tell me about your name? Yeah, because I like to know how people got named.
It's really interesting. So in our very first test stream, so this will, I don't know if it'll ever make it to the audio only like podcast part. We did talk about it.
Oh, okay.
But no, I can totally, because again, that's not going to go to audio. So my name is Christian with a K, which is weird. When people see my name written down without meeting me first, my whole life, people always assume I'm female, which like for a big portion of my life used to really mess with my brain. I didn't like it because I'm not very masculine. Like I'm a very feminine person, which now in my 30s it's totally fine. But like growing up in the 90s and like early 2000s, I hated it because I'm a man, but like I don't do anything manly.
Toshi said, "Yeah, you are."
Yeah, you are. So Christian with a K, and the reason that is that way, my mom was born and raised in Denmark, so it's a Scandinavian spelling.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like she came over when she was 16, maybe she was 18.
Wow.
I'm gonna say 18 just because that makes more sense.
Wow.
So yeah, so I was named Christian for like with that spelling for that. But so here's the weird part. This is a can of worms you didn't know you opened.
Oh, I'm excited.
I was named after a kid who was killed. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm not excited.
I know.
Oh boy. Okay.
I didn't say it was a good can of worms.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a kid was hit by a car. It was my mom's friend, like her son died.
Oh, that's so awful.
I know. It is a weird feeling when I found that out.
Just chewing.
I know.
So
He's like,
for
nom,
those in
nom,
the
nom,
audio,
nom.
Toshi is still just chewing.
That's not me licking my lips.
You're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but it's a weird feeling. So growing up, and I was confused because growing up, my mom told me this story because I'd ask her like, why am I? What's my name from? Mm-hmm. So she told me that when she first moved to the States, whenever she would talk with her mother, so my grandmother, she would ask, "Oh, hey, when is Christian coming? When's Christian coming?" Which was her way of saying, "Hey, when are you gonna have kids?"
Oh.
But that story never made sense to me because I'm the fourth kid, and I'm in four.
In four, okay.
And I'm the second boy.
Oh.
So it's like, if that was true, why wasn't my older brother named Christian?
What is your older brother's name?
Justin. It's sort of similar.
Yeah, yes, yeah. You both
But
have the ins.
yeah, we have the Stins.
Stins, yeah.
Although mine's Christian. But regardless, and then when I was an adult, I don't think my mom told me that story. I think my sister did, my older sister, and I confirmed it with my mother because I believe no one. That's not true. But I think I was like, why? Why'd you tell me that other story? She's like, oh no, they're both true. I was like, okay, if you say so. But I don't know where my middle name came from.
What is your middle name?
My middle name is Alexander.
Alexander.
Yeah. So I love my name written out. Christian Alexander Eris.
It's fun. I love that.
It looks really regal.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, K. My initials are just my first initial, K. K-A-E.
K-A-E.
Yeah.
Yeah. K. Yeah.
K.
K.
Yeah. Also, I love my last name Eris because
I love your last name. I was thinking that too. Earlier when you said it last night at the show, I was like, man, I really love Christian's last name.
I hated my whole name growing up.
Oh, you did?
Because no one can pronounce it.
Oh.
Even when meeting me face to face and people see my name written, they say Kristen.
Oh.
Which I always found confusing. I'm like, well, like, look at me. Like,
yes.
Come on, I'm a boy. Which, whatever. And then my last name is 4 letters, E-R-O-S, but people always say Eros, Eros. Eros
I
is
said
fine.
Eros for
Which
a
is,
while
like,
when I first met you. Yeah.
I'm okay with it now. It bugged me as a kid. Mm-hmm. But, like, so Eros is, looking at it immediately, if you know anything about Greek mythology, it is the Greek god of love. Yeah, so it is the Greek equivalent to the Roman Cupid.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, cool.
But we're not Greek. This is on my dad's side, obviously, because this is where the Eris comes from, is Hungarian.
Oh, okay.
And in Hungarian, it means brave, I think. Brave. So it's completely different in meaning. And So it's like it's A, for air, and then the Russ part. So it's not O. And if I say it fast enough, it sounds like Eris, but it's technically Eris. When you say it fast, it just comes out Eris.
I'm now afraid to say it.
It's fine. So
I'm
look,
like now like
it's obvious that because like again, I hated my name growing up, so I tried to learn about it. But I remember one time I was a little kid, as I think we all were at one point.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I don't know.
No?
No, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
I think I at one point was really wrinkly and decrepit.
You Benjamin Buttoned it.
Yeah.
So when I was little, I have asthma, but when I was a kid, it was horrible. I was in the hospital all the time for my asthma.
Just the worst.
Yeah, it was great. So one night, middle of the night, can't breathe, take me to the hospital. And I remember Katoshi is now ripping apart his toy. That's not me with tummy issues.
He put his head up right next to the microphone
He's like, nom, nom,
and
nom.
then started chewing as if to emphasize, like, yeah, everybody, all the listeners must know I am decimating this toy.
I do find that, like, dogs chewing is less... Because I don't do the whole ASMR chewing thing. I don't like it. But dogs or animals chewing, I'm okay with.
It's so cute because they have the cutest noses.
Yeah, I love watching pandas eat. And I'll turn the volume all the way up for that. They're so freaking cute.
I'm the same way with red pandas. I'm a
Got
red
you.
panda girly. I love red pandas.
So I was at the hospital, and I remember the nurse called, up next.
And bats eating. Sorry, I had to throw
bats
that
are
in.
cute too, yeah.
Bats eating? Oh, so sorry.
No, you're fine.
So you're at the hospital.
Yes, and so the nurse called out for Kristen Erroneous. And I am half dead because I don't have any oxygen. And I remember stopping and like, dude, you added so many letters. Like, you added
an
an
erroneous
N.
amount of letters.
Yeah, it was weird. I couldn't believe it.
So funny. That's so silly.
Yeah.
Kristen
I've gotten...
Erroneous.
Yeah.
That should be your alter ego.
So I've been called Kristen, I've been called Christina, I've been called Christia. Yeah.
Christia. Christia Ann? Like,
I don't know.
Missing
Like, again,
the N.
because even with Kristen, you're missing the final A.
Yes. That's interesting.
But I actually don't think... I don't have a memory. Also, my memory's really bad, so this could also just be false. But I don't think anybody who's ever read my name before meeting me, or even like if I went to a class and they're looking me in the face and they read my name, I've never had anybody who read my name before I said it get it right. Ever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very
I've been alive for
interesting.
almost 35 years.
I
I've met at least a dozen people.
Not a single teacher, not any of the teachers in your life who were like maybe like 25 years into their career, like read out your name correctly. No. Wow. Yeah. See, I'm so dyslexic, so I never read anybody's name correctly.
Well, like
I never even really read most things correctly.
And that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. One of the reasons why I love improv so much is that I like if I get a script, I mean, you're not supposed to do that as an actor, but if you're in a pinch, like I can, I know that I've got it, especially for stage acting where it's not where film or voiceover where you have everything memorized ahead of time and then you can do another take. With stage acting, it's like you have everything memorized ahead of time, but you have to be on your feet because you don't know if you're going to go up on your lines or they're going to go up on their lines.
Yeah. So have you done voiceover?
No. But if anybody from Crunchyroll hears this, I promise I'm talented.
I would be shocked if they were listening.
I know, yeah.
Because that's the thing, like with voiceover, is that 9 times out of 10, I don't have the script ahead of time. I will receive the script at the same moment I'm meeting with the directors. Yeah, so like Crunchyroll's that way. I've done like video game, so the only voiceover scripts that I'll have ahead of time before recording are audiobooks. And that's only like, I don't know how they would do it for, no, they have to let you go through the book first. So yeah, audiobooks. And then I did Diablo 4.
Yeah.
And so I would get the scripts the night before on Diablo 4, which I always found really surprising because I've done other video games, not at the same like caliber as Diablo, and I will have these scripts given to me in the meeting with the directors, and they're like, all right, cool, go.
That's my worst nightmare. It's only because I think in voiceover it's so important to be word perfect as possible, and then also getting it at the same time. In film, and actually on stage because my worst nightmare is being handed a script in a side reading and then being like told like go, like if you're doing a stage audition. And so it took me a long time to become this brave. I used to be like, no, I don't want anybody to think I'm a problem, or I don't want anybody to like feel like I'm a diva and I'm asking them to go out of their way for me or anything like that, because you're so taught in this industry to like not be an issue. But I finally it got to the point in my career where I'm like, I could make leaps and bounds if it weren't for my disability.
Right.
So I finally just started asking. I would say I'm a very, very fast memorizer. So that's helped me is working that muscle. And I would be like, as long as I can have like 5 minutes, if it's depending on how short or how long it is, like as long as I can have X amount of time beforehand with the script, I will come in and I will be word perfect. But I need it. I need to have it. And when it comes to side reading, I have such a hard time looking at the script and then acting, because I lose my place when I look back, and then everything gets jumbled again. So I've started just asking for scripts ahead of time. That's something that I will do. When it came to film auditions, my old agent, I would go in and he would see my face and be like, oh yeah, I forgot. Audrey, can you go audition for like 7 other things today? And then just like throw a bunch of scripts at me. And that never bothered me too much because, like I said, I'm a fast memorizer.
Yeah.
So as long as I have them a tiny bit ahead of time, it's what really scares me with voiceover is one of the reasons I never got into voiceover earlier was the idea that I would have to like read as like read a prompter style, like have it like up and reading as I was recording. Yeah. That terrifies me. I know that there was some English dubbing. It's like so you have to match it perfectly, and that's so scary. Well, I'm sure I could develop the skill, but it's just
well, that's one of the things like you just practice. Yeah. Like I took lots of classes before doing it professionally. So I've done dubbing for a few different studios besides just Crunchyroll and Funimation or whatever. But one of my favorite things about dubbing, I say favorite in quotes, is so I did some live action dub. My very first dubbing ever was live action dubs. And it was with this company, and they use their own proprietary...
Your sounds are so wet.
I know. He's a very wet boy. They use their own proprietary system for doing scripts and recording and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And their words would move along with... So when they hit play, the words would move along with... They have it timed so that when you need to speak is when the words would pass this certain line.
Oh, I see.
And so the words were always in movement, and I never had a chance to look at the scripts first. And I never knew.
Find some YouTube videos and practice that.
Actually, so I teach classes, and I actually have clips.
You have so many things to teach me.
Yeah.
See?
And I actually do have clips that I have compiled and built out scripts and things like that. If you ever were wanting to practice.
I do. I want to practice all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys can too. I do coaching.
Yes.
And if you are interested in that, let me know.
This guy.
Email me at contact@christianaris.com. Don't know how to spell Christianaris? You're not alone.
Well, I'm happy to know all that about your name too. I know that's a way going back, circling back, but
It's
like,
okay. We all process at different speeds.
it's not the speed; it's the cyclical nature that I have with my brain. I please take classes from Christian. He has an interesting name.
I do.
We all have interesting names.
I think so.
Yeah, there's always a story.
I loved on stage last night. Danny was hosting our shows, and she didn't ask you ahead of time how to pronounce your last name.
No, she didn't.
And so she's like on stage going, MacNeil? Question? And I thought it was so funny.
Yeah. That's I mean, actually that's how I say it to get people to spell it right.
Yeah.
Because it's MAC. So I say MacNeil because I'm trying to get people to spell it right. And
That
it's
makes sense.
super Scottish. My last name was actually a last name that died out because of the patriarchy.
Did you have that rant last night? Was that you?
No, that wasn't me. I didn't. I had, what rant did I have last night? I had being nice to service industry.
Oh,
workers.
Kayla had patriarchy.
Yeah, I think, no, Chanel had patriarchy.
Oh, she had laundry.
Yeah, Kayla had laundry.
Wow. My memory's so great.
But it died out, and my sister and I have different fathers. So my mom didn't want us to have her last name because she was estranged from her family at the time. So my mom wanted my sister and I to have the same last name so that we would always have that connection. So she just pulled a last name from way back in our lineage. That was like one of the ones that came from the female line.
Oh, so she just pulled a last name.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my like great grandmother last name was McNeil, and my mom was like, "I'm gonna give that to my girls." So
that's really interesting.
And I don't know if my mom necessarily had that. My sister's 5.5 years older than me, so I don't know if she necessarily had the plan of like, I'm gonna do this with all of my kids, but that's how it worked out. And yeah.
So is it just you and your sister?
Yep, me and my sister. Yep.
So I have 3 siblings. There's 4 of us. And the first 3 are all really... They're not the same age, obviously, but they're like, like a couple of years apart.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half, and then it's like 3 years, I think. Between me and my brother is 11 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah. So like...
You have a baby brother?
No,
You're the baby.
I'm the baby.
And you're the baby of Take One.
Which is why I say it's a role I slide into really easily.
Yes.
But a lot of the times I actually feel like an only child with like 6 parents.
Oh, wow. I can understand that. My sister's like my parent.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister's 100% taken on that role for me my whole life. And so I get that. But that's hard. All the adults around. I was the baby of the entire family. I have a lot of cousins, and I was the baby of the cousins.
Of my cousins, I'm also the youngest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so much in common. Yeah, it's crazy being the baby, I think.
What's really funny is like I'm closer in age to like my nieces and nephews than I am to my siblings.
Wow.
So I've been an uncle since I was 7 years old.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is very crazy. That means you're the funkle.
Because I'm so funky. No, I don't know.
The fun uncle.
I don't know if that's true either, though, because like I was so young that it was just such a weird relationship. So like with my oldest sister, she and I have a relationship like I'm the little brother, but she's also kind of my mom.
Okay.
And then with her kid, I'm the uncle, but I'm also kind of her brother. So it's such a weird relationship where like I am just everyone's brother, but like
brother Christian.
But I'm also like everyone like their kid and uncle. It's just it is a very unique relationship. I actually had an ex who was really weirded out by it.
Really? I don't. I think that is so strange to be weirded out by that. There's some people.
We're not together anymore.
Yes. So I will trash that ex.
Yeah.
But there are some people whose uncles are younger than them, or like aunts are younger than them. I mean, there's all these different dynamics in the family.
Is there a term
Yeah.
for that? Like, so brother or sister, the neutral is sibling. Then mother,
Yeah.
father, this is parent. Do you have like
Is
a
there
title
a
for?
neutral? Yeah, is there
for
a
aunt,
gender neutral uncle or aunt?
Yeah.
I am honestly not sure.
Parent,
and now
sibling?
I feel bad because I am queer and I should know these things, but I also am like, maybe it's not my job to know everything.
Well, I mean,
But, you know,
but you're not a
like-
parent sibling though, are you?
No, I am not. I'm
Okay.
not a parent sibling. No. Well, no, actually, my sister has. Actually, that's a lie. My sister is.
It was just you were so like no, I'm not. Actually, my sister has 3 kids.
My sister had my niece. And I was 12 when my sister had my niece. My sister was very young. She got pregnant at 18. I believe had her at 19. And my niece is named Kyrie because, yes, we are Kingdom Hearts fans. And so my sister is named Kyrie after Kyrie on Kingdom Hearts. Right, not my sister, my niece. This is why it's so weird.
If you can just attune your brain to be a spiral,
Yeah.
you'll be able to follow our conversation.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's great.
I need to be medicated, but I am only partly medicated.
My mother texted me.
Oh,
She was 17 when she came to the States. Hi, Mommy.
she's watching. Oh, hello.
That's so great. I didn't know you were watching. I'll be really nice now. Because I was going to say horrible things about you, Mother. I wasn't.
I would
love
have
you.
left.
I
I would have straight up been like,
I
this
would
is
have been
not
here
something
by
I want to be
myself.
part of.
No, thank you, Mom.
Aw.
That's so great.
That's awesome. Yay.
And then she also says that both stories are correct.
Both stories are correct.
Yeah, which is good. Like, which is what I was led to believe. I remember it confused my little brain.
So I was like, I don't understand. How can 2 things be true at once?
And now you're an improviser and you know that many things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. One of my
You have to
favorite.
hold space for all of the realities.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do to my older sister, which always makes her feel bad, and this is that little brother like being crappy. I have a very good superpower. I have a very good ability of turning almost anything that's said positively about me into a negative thing. So I can, whenever my sister says something really nice to me, I will turn it into an insult, and she doesn't get upset, but she's just like, "Oh, why do you do that?" And I'm like, "Because it gets a reaction out of you, and I'm the little
Okay, see,
I'm a stinker.
I thought you were internalizing it as an insult. Okay.
I do
All
it.
right,
I
so
do
you're
it.
doing it to mess with her.
100%.
Okay,
But
good.
it does come from having a really low self-esteem. So like originally it would be me internalizing it. Mm-hmm. But as I have, begun my healing process, I now just find it funny.
I enjoy that, actually. Yes, that's...
So I'm just like 2 things being true at the same time.
You're not
is-
always lawful good. No, I think if it was all on a spectrum, you would be way over at lawful
Yeah.
good. But everybody's
Everybody's got their little
little
stinker.
variants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's very funny.
Yeah. I love that.
Okay, so usually at the very end of these, I love that my mom's
We're
watching.
already at the end.
Yeah.
It went by so fast, and I'm not sure anything made sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Like, it's really funny because, again, so we had 2 test recordings and then like an official episode 1. And those were all with Danny and Corey.
Mm-hmm.
And you were bringing such a different energy, which
I'm throwing everything off.
is great. I love it. I think it's super fun. And
Yeah, we had no topics, no plan, no
nothing.
This is just us.
Improvising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a conversation.
Which
this is how we talk to each other normally.
I will say
I will
am
say
putting,
this is not a character for us. This is us being like,
I'm putting on a little bit of a character. Like, this is my performing voice.
yes, I knew that.
Yeah.
But this is how we talk to each other. We go on these little tangents and circle arounds and
Yeah.
all of that.
No, it's very true.
Yes.
So at the end of the episodes, we will answer a few questions that I have pulled from various people on social media.
Woohoo!
And so I'll go on like Twitter and stuff, and I'll on Instagram, and I'll ask like, "Hey,
Anybody have questions for us? Take one.
Yay.
what's really funny is I wasted most of them on our test recordings. So here's one from a Aaron Noble. Aaron
I think it's
Noble?
pronounced Urin.
Urin.
Yeah,
That's
Urin.
right.
Yeah.
I heard that she is an absolute baby for Take One. From Take One in.
Did we birth Aaron?
I did. It was very painful. So Aaron's question is, what do you like most about your team members?
Oh.
3 question marks, 3 smiley faces.
3 question marks, 3 smiley faces.
So I'm actually glad you're here for this question.
Yeah.
Because Corey would just say nothing.
Yeah, Corey would say nothing.
be
And
a
then
stinker.
Danny would be like, Danny has really profound things to say about people. She got me the other day in rehearsal. She says,
Oh,
"They're
last
super
weekend?"
nice." Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's so nice. But I have so many favorite things. Do I get to do? Can I just do like one for each person, or do I have to pick somebody?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. My.
I was just gonna go general, like for the whole.
In general, okay.
The whole team.
Because I think
Because
if
we could talk for another hour.
about the things we like about everybody. Yes,
Yeah.
we could. My favorite thing in general about my team members is one. This is gonna sound egotistical. We talked a lot about ego, but the caliber at which we are able to perform and rehearse together, and it's not. That sounds so egotistical, but it's mostly that like I spend a lot of my time like teaching people how to do improv who are improv babies and who like need to get to that next step, or I also teach character work, and I'm right now teaching like a game of the scene course at Stomping Ground. So I spend a lot of time like teaching people who who kind of need a gear shift, and we're all already in gear 6 all the time, and it's such a fun, like I get to learn so much from my team members existing with you all, and it's so fun to like just really take to get to that level and really be able to take off. So I love that. And then I also think that like we're so not afraid of risking anything or looking dumb or being our true selves, because like we do have our character personas, our onstage personas, our hosting personas, but like ultimately like we're just weirdos, like just a bunch of weirdos. There's no really performative aspects about us as a team, which I really like. Yeah. Except for maybe Corey. Corey's got his vibe. Yeah. He's a squish, but he's got his vibe. Yeah. He's got to be the fearless leader, so he needs to put on that that armor.
For sure. So my favorite things about the team. I'll say this. I adore. So Take One is, for people who have made it this far and don't know who we are, is Corey's baby. He created Take One while he was in high school. And he does a lot of work to make a team.
I don't even think I knew that Take One went all the way back to when Corey was in high school.
Yeah, wow. Like this year, Take One could have a driver's license.
Oh, well, I knew that, but I think
How old do you think Corey was?
Ancient.
Yeah, he was before time.
The amount of old men he plays on stage is just got.
Yeah.
Corey's like, I was a child when I created Take One, and now it's grown and it can run for president.
Oh, I was thinking like, this is my 500th attempt at making an improv troupe.
this is the one that is sticking around for now.
Wow.
But no, what I really adore is that he fosters a group that he wants to be a part of. And so the atmosphere, like I've been a part of other improv troupes that were, I don't want to say toxic, but weren't as supportive as Take One is. So I joined Take One feeling grossly underqualified. I didn't audition. I didn't feel like I earned my way. I just happened to make Corey laugh a few times. And he actually thought I hated him when I first met him. Apparently, I give off this vibe, man.
But that's the thing about Corey the Squish Master, is that he has a very hard exterior and a very soft interior.
Yeah.
And he perceives that everybody hates him.
Well, that's also true, but if I combine that with your story that I was very intimidating,
Yeah.
I'd need to work on my RBF.
Okay, yes.
But that being said,
I don't know, since your mom's watching, I want to know if she thinks you have an RBF.
I love my mother. It took me a long time to understand that my mom has RBF. I would ask her all the time as a kid, Mom, are you okay? And she's just like, I'm just living my life. I'm just here, man.
I'm just vibing.
I'm just hanging out. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm just this is what my face looks like. And I'm like, oh, well, you're very beautiful. I just thought you were upset. She's like, no, I'm just here. I'm like, oh, okay. So I think I come by it honestly.
Ah, yes.
I think it's just something that I inherited. I love you, Mom. You're a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we just have a grumpy looking thinking face.
Okay, yeah.
Which
that's
is
fair.
fine.
Yeah.
But like my very first rehearsal with Take One. So Take One, by the nature of it, like our members shift a lot. So the team that I joined is very different from the team that exists now.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's only 2 years ago.
It's hard.
I think the only members that are the same from when I joined are Corey, Danny, and Kimber. I think everybody else is new. Like
Kayla and Liz too.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kayla.
Okay, I thought that Kayla and Liz had been around for a
No,
while.
Liz actually joined after I did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now she was around, but she wasn't on the team.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Not that like we didn't want her.
Liz is such a smart performer.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So smart.
But she actually joined Funny Femmes first.
Oh, okay.
So Liz and Lindsay both joined Funny Femmes. And then Corey wanted to integrate both teams into being Take One.
Oh, yeah.
And so they came in that way.
And that's why it's very female heavy, I think.
Oh, the team?
The team, yeah.
Yeah, and we just kind of, through happenstance, just lost a lot of our male members.
Yes, that's true. My partner recently moved to Utah.
Yeah.
And so we are now in Mormon country, and it's very actually nice. He's really enjoying his time out there, and he's working at Snow College, which is in Ephraim, Utah. Mm-hmm. And he's on Take One. He's a very smart, amazing, awesome person.
Talking about being intimidated, meeting someone. Charlie, I think I told him this, that he intimidated me as a performer. Not necessarily as a person, but as a performer, I was in shock, kind of, when I first saw him perform. And I mean that like in a really good way. I was like, how is he doing that? I've never even heard of this guy, and he is killing it in a way I don't even understand how he's doing what he's doing.
I love that you said that because I am such a groupie of his. That's how we got together. I'm not even gonna lie. I just was like, this person is the most incredible performer I've ever seen, improviser. And I was like, I have to be around him and absorb everything that he has to give in this world. And I was like, and then I weaseled my way in there and then trapped him in a relationship for 8 years.
Wow.
No, but I'm still such a groupie of his. I still I get so I get so upset personally. Again, Gryffindor, like I very much am like, I have to defend my people and the things I love. I get so upset personally when I think that people underestimate him or underutilize his talents. I'm like, do I need to just staple your resume on every wall?
Right.
So yeah, Charlie can be intimidating as a
performer. He's so I've never seen a person embody out of the box thinking.
Yes.
You know, like he hits things in such a smart way, but it's also unexpected. He would refute that too.
He'd be like, I think I am so in the box that it becomes out of the box.
Well,
like,
to him, it's
in the box.
That's very
interesting.
But
his box is a different box than the rest of the world.
Yeah, like his box is a pyramid.
Yes.
And like it comes from the ancient gods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so interesting. But so my very first rehearsal with Take One, like again, I didn't audition. So when we did auditions this past summer, everybody had a vote on who they wanted to bring into the team. That didn't happen with me. Corey just brought me on. I don't know if anybody voted on that. And so I showed up to rehearsal.
I'm so glad he did. He's got a way of picking people. He does.
I'm glad that he did too. Like when I first saw Take One perform, I don't think Kayla will ever watch this. So I credit people in Take One for a few things, right? So because of Danny and Corey, I chose Stomping Ground to be the place I wanted to learn improv.
Hang your hat at, yeah.
Because I wanted to be around people who were doing what I wanted to do.
Yes,
because when I first started at Stomping Ground, I wasn't doing anime yet.
Oh,
and
you found improv before you found anime?
Well, I mean, I found
you were
as far as like actually doing it. So I was doing voiceover.
Okay,
I was doing audiobooks and like I had started dubbing the live action stuff.
Okay, great. Yeah.
And also ironically, I didn't even get into anime through Corey.
Mm-hmm.
I got in through other connections I had made doing classes.
Oh, okay, great.
And so I credit Danny and Corey for me being at Stomping Ground. I credit Kayla for wanting to become an improviser.
Yeah.
Because
Kayla's
I did improv as a way to further my acting chops. That was it. That was my whole goal. Was just to learn a new skill and to become a better actor. And then I watched Take One perform, and I watched Kayla. It was specifically the game of Studio Notes. Remember Studio Notes?
Yes.
Watching her do that, she was so effortlessly hilarious. And she wasn't even playing any of her big characters. She was playing a femme fatale, like that one where she's like smoking the cigarette and just lounging on a chair.
Yes.
It was that character, and it was
brilliant.
It was artistic. Mm-hmm. It was artful. All I wanted to do was get on that stage.
Yes.
And nothing else ever made me feel like that about improv. And I was like, oh, dude, I want to do that. I want to be a part of that team. They're all amazing. So on my first day of rehearsal, I was so intimidated and underqualified in my eyes. I didn't deserve to be there. And every single person made me feel welcome.
Oh.
Like to a person, I felt welcome.
Yeah.
And like I've been on other teams. Like I've been on like improv teams, part of theater productions, and et cetera, teams. Never felt welcome. I always felt like the outsider, and that is why like I have become such a like gung ho Take One member. You know, like I'm not embarrassed to be like, oh hey, let's like I will promote Take One stuff alongside my own personal acting stuff. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I mentioned that I'm moving to Utah. I'm gonna join Charlie out there, but I'm like, I don't care if I have to drive in the middle of the night, all night, every other weekend.
Right.
I will be a part of this team because I had a similar experience. I mean, Charlie and I were kind of I'll make this super quick, but like we moved here for improv jobs, not at Stomping Ground, at a different theater that shall not be named. And we were utterly like destroyed and like just like, I mean, we put our blood, sweat, and tears into that place, and all of our like hard work into that place, and we were really whittled down over the past couple of years, and then we found Take One, and it was like, I mean, we say this all the time. If you had asked us in January, right before we joined Take One, like whether or not we wanted to leave Texas, we would have been like, how soon and what like body part do I have to sell on the black market to make that happen? We would have done anything to leave Texas because we were so desperate to get out of Dallas. And then we joined Take One, and it was like, it felt like home instantly. I don't want to cry. It felt like home instantly.
I do love that we're just like sitting here like, oh man, Take One's the best. You should
this is
listen
the
to every
podcast.
single podcast about Take One.
Yeah, sorry. This is the podcast. Is us just like dishing and like
we're amazing.
And amazing improvisers. If you're out there too, like, come find us.
Yeah.
like I think Corey is a very excellent like curator of great people, and I think that Danny is just so like a light for everything. Like, I mean, we really have a great, we've got great leadership. We've got great members. We've got a lot of trust. We've got a lot of trust and a lot of respect.
Yeah.
And that goes so far. Like just being, I'm pretty young. I'm 28. I'm about to turn 29. I have a stupid amount of improv experience for my age. And I do think that improvisers make the best actors. I'm like, I don't understand how people can be an actor without, like a really prolific actor without learning this skill. And I have a lot of actor friends who are like, oh, no. Improv is not for me. I can't make it up.
Yeah, no, so doing cons, I've been very fortunate to meet some decently big names in the voice acting sphere. And I've never ever had any other actor turn their nose up at improv. Usually what they say is that improv scares them.
Yes, it's too scary. I can't do it. I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I need a script.
Yeah.
I work with a script best. And as somebody who like I'm a super big Shakespeare nerd. A super big Shakespeare nerd. Like I just have a bunch of Shakespearean things running around in my head at any given time. And I will say that like coming from something that's so scripted and so like on every beat, on every punctuation, on every syllable, on every vowel, on every consonant, it's like it's so to the T.
Yeah.
To going to like completely the opposite direction. I do not understand how one can exist without the other. Like how you can have space in your brain. Like I need the balance. I need that because I love scripted work. I love it so much. I love finding the minutia in a period in the middle of a line.
Yeah.
I love that. But also in the same take, I can't imagine like being able to like be fully present and in the moment as an actor, reach those goals like being the Kaylas or the Charlies of the world and be so connected with your material, whether you are making it up or whether you already have it.
Yeah.
Without having the skill.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny you bring that up because like that's my dream is to inspire other people.
Yeah.
Like through my acting, like maybe not inspire, but like to connect with people through acting. I desperately want that. I really because like I've had my world turned upside down by acting, like by watching performances, and I don't know.
Actors are the most empathetic people on the planet, just hands down. I like to defend them on that. Like they understand people so inherently, and that's like.
So I don't know.
It changes you.
I want that. I want someone not necessarily to tell me. Like I don't need to know about it. Like I'm not that like, hey, you need to feed my ego. But I just like, I don't know. Like provide like, oh, I was having a really terrible couple months, but then your character really spoke to me or whatever, and like I want that.
and the crazy thing is that you might have already reached that goal like 20 times over, but it's so hard to quantify. I have a similar, when we did our ego workshop, I have a similar thing, is that I want, with my teaching, I want to be that teacher that like makes people have their aha moment. That is like, oh, I understand this thing, and now they're whatever they're doing, whether it's improv or acting or directing, whatever I'm teaching. I also teach movement theory for actors, and whatever I'm teaching, I'm like, I want them to have their aha moment with me.
Yeah.
But like, I'm never gonna know.
Right.
And so similarly with your goal of like wanting to inspire, like, it's so hard to quantify. What if
it definitely is.
Have you ever told Kayla that it was your big
Kayla,
inspo?
I don't know. Kayla's so funny because she, along with being one of the best improvisers in Texas, she's also
or best improvisers ever.
I don't know.
Don't hear this, Kayla, and get a big head. God.
No, that's the thing though, is that she is also insanely humble.
Yes, she is.
So I've told her repeatedly that I think that she's one of the best improvisers I've ever met. And like, before I met some of Take One, like, because I think I have told her that she is the best improviser I've ever met, and she was like, no, I'm terrible, I'm the worst. And like, I've seen her do amazing performances, come off the stage and be like, oh, that was terrible, I did really bad. So
she is very humble. She also can't take compliments, so if you tell her she's your inspiration, she probably would.
I don't know how she would take it, so I've never told her. I should though.
Yeah, no.
I'll send her this clip.
Send her this clip. I love that we're just like talking up Take One and loving on it, but like truly, I mean, just improv in general, like acting in general, this whole world is really hard for actors right now. So I think it's great that we've been able to take the time to talk it up, because there's so much uncertainty with AI. We're still, I think we're going to strike till Monday, maybe. We're still working on that. Things are weird, y'all, in our universe, and we just want to be able to do our art, because we're sure as shit not making money from it.
Not a whole lot, yeah. I mean, look, we as actors, we definitely do a lot of work for free. Or
just because we love it, because it feeds our souls,
no. No, that's true.
Yeah, no, we do also need to feed our actual bodies.
So one quick question before we wrap up, from Isaac, who's watching. What are your thoughts on Tom and Jerry?
Oh, on Tom and Jerry? Oh, I love this question. Thank you, Isaac. So I to this day, if anybody ever asks me what my favorite show is, it's Looney Tunes. Not the racist bits, but but it is Looney Tunes. And Tom and Jerry was like always on, like after or around Looney Tunes when I was a kid. And it's like, it's a really big like love of mine, are those old school cartoons. I had a car that I named Marvin after Marvin the Martian. I love Tom and Jerry. I think that physical humor and physical comedy is like the bee's knees, and it's something that I strive to be able to do. I got yelled at last night because I sat in a window, and
it's so funny. So it was during the show.
Love physical comedy.
Corey and I were trying to
so hard to get me down.
No, not that. I was like, you do you. I don't care. Because I knew you shouldn't have been in the window, but like you were already there. So
sorry, stomping ground.
But then you got called back, and I could hear you guys talking behind the wall.
I know. I was so mad at them. I was like, guys, we can have this conversation later.
Yeah. So I was trying to just keep the scene going with Corey, which I thought was so funny. I was like, yeah, so just ignore them back there.
Vamp.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I
was
like,
it's fine.
I had to like, I went back there, got like a little bit reprimanded by the rest of the team for getting in the window. And then which Corey and his father built, by the way. Yeah. And then I got a little bit reprimanded by the team, and then like because usually like if I'm in the throes of like a performance, I get like if something like happens like that takes me out of it, I need to like get back in. Like I went back there, got yelled at and whispered. I got whisper yelled at.
Yeah.
And then I immediately was like, I need to take a second before I go back out there because I don't even remember what my character was doing or what my character's name was or anything else like that. And I think it was Kayla. Kayla was like, go back out.
Yeah.
Like, go. And I was like, I need a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I need a minute because if I make a very physical choice, like typically I'm like, just trust me.
Yeah.
Like, trust me in my body. Because it's something that I have worked on so much is that it doesn't look like it if you're watching because I am a little bit overweight. But I'm a very, very physical actor. Like, I have studied like Lecoq and Laban and I know it's a silly name, but that's how you say it. And Drosnin and and Chekhov and all of those things. Like I am very, very in my and I have stage combat certifications. So typically I know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to physical humor.
How have we never had a stage combat workshop for rehearsal? That was something so
yeah, I would do it.
We kind of strayed from Tom and Jerry, but no, that's something I actually was trying. I was reaching
comedy,
out
yeah.
to people with stage combat certifications to come to a workshop with us. It just never worked out because it was a thing that we were actually integrating quite a bit at the time into some Take One stuff was like slow-mo fighting and stuff like that, and a lot of our members struggled.
Oh yeah, no. If
But again, that's a
talking
different
hand to hand. I can do hand to hand.
It's a different incarnation of
I'm
Take
certified
One
in
now.
hand to hand, and rapier dagger. Those are my certifications.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. So yeah, that's something I think some of our members would benefit from. Yeah. But that aside, my opinions of Tom and Jerry. I loved Tom and Jerry as a kid. They were my favorites.
Who do you like better, Tom or Jerry?
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yes, it's
obviously.
the obvious choice. Yes. Yes.
But I will say, I like their earlier stuff, which tends to be a bit more racist.
But also like more violent.
It's more violent, but the animation's so much better.
I know it is.
So, like once the cartoons hit the 70s, the animation takes such a dive. And it is just I hate it. I talk about it with my niece, and she's fine with it. It drives me up the wall. It looks so bad. Yeah,
I 100% agree. It's kind of like I hate to like this is a hard left or something, but there's like an era of Scooby-Doo that's like, oh, this animation and like it's spookier and the storylines are better and like and it's like and it's actually like a little bit scary when you're a kid. You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it gets real campy and the animation is really bad and the storylines are really bad.
Then we got Scrappy.
Yeah, then we get Scrappy.
Yeah.
I was trying to watch a couple episodes of What's New Scooby-Doo last night because just for nostalgia, and I was like, this is a little, because it's like right in that middle ground where it's like, I still remember it from my childhood, but like it's starting to get towards that like campy era.
It's really funny because like in the 70s, animation went weird, and then like it continued into the 80s. So like when I was a kid, I didn't really like a lot of cartoons. Like I like some. I love cartoons, but I really like the older cartoons. Yeah. So like when I was a kid, like we had like a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Yes, I actually liked a pup named Scooby-Doo.
I didn't. I just thought it was so like boring and like stilted and strange and silly.
It was very strange in comparison to the OG. Yeah, in comparison to
like
Scooby-Doo,
even like
Where Are You? Like
in the same vein, like Inspector Gadget. People love that. Oh, yeah. For me it was the same.
I wasn't into Inspector Gadget. I liked Recess and the original Scooby-Doo's, and I liked Looney Tunes. And yes, yeah.
No, I like some Looney Tunes. If it's Bugs Bunny, generally I'm on board.
Yeah, that's true. There are some of them that I don't love the storylines of. I like Roadrunner.
Daffy Duck, sometimes. It depends. Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. I don't like Sylvester.
Yeah, That's fair.
And I don't like Foghorn Leghorn.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I love Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd's great.
When he's not depicted as racist.
Yeah.
But I love Elmer Fudd. Some of those with Bugs and Elmer Fudd were my favorites.
Yeah.
I love Taz.
Sure.
I love Marvin. Any Marvin episode is like a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
There's something about that little Martian. Yes. And yeah, I really like. I think a lot of those like earlier cartoons that were so much more based in action and animation than in dialogue.
Yeah.
Were absolutely some of my favorites and some of my big inspirations for like wanting to be an actor, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
We're
Cool.
running out of time.
We are 100% over. We started a little late.
Yes, we did, and we're over.
But thanks, guys. Thanks, Mom, for joining us. So if
Yeah.
you are watching live
Thank you,
on YouTube,
Isaac. Thank you, Mom.
yeah, if you're watching live on YouTube, we are live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you're listening or are interested in listening to the audio only, we're going to be on Spotify, Google, Amazon. I'm working on Apple. Right now, I'm on the opinion that they can get wrecked. Their process of getting a podcast is infuriating
You said that in
me.
front of your mom.
Oh yeah, she has an iPhone too. So,
Oh my gosh. Oh.
also too, again, we're going to be performing at a show next Saturday night in Dallas, downtown Dallas at Stomping Ground Theater at 10:30 p.m. to 12:30 for the 48-hour Laugh-a-thon. If you are interested in coming to that, visit stompingground.org, and it should be like really visible there
Yes.
to get tickets and come watch.
It should be. All of the proceeds next weekend go towards like our scholarship funds and helping students get classes and just all of the other philanthropy work that we do as a theater. Take One is its own sort of thing, but we are very housed and loved by Stomping Ground, so it's kind of our...
Because like most of our members are also teachers and board members. I am one of the only ones who have no affiliation with Stomping Ground besides that, I perform there.
Yeah, you and
don't
Aaron,
teach
I think, maybe, yeah.
Oh, and Kayla, she doesn't teach or anything there either.
Yes, yeah. You,
So
Aaron, and
we're
Kayla.
the minor, like...
No, but like you all are still helping us lift it up and support it. And it's a goofy little nonprofit theater.
Yeah.
That does a lot of really great work, and we love that. So thank you, Stomping Ground. We appreciate you.
Yes. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
And then also remember to follow us on all the social media at Take One Improv. Take the number one improv.
And also Funny Femme.
Funny Femmes. We're on Instagram. I was a Funny Femme last night, so it's a we now. We are on
Christian
Instagram.
got to play a detective.
I did. My second time playing detective.
I loved playing victims because I just liked screaming.
Well, usually I play victims.
Yeah.
Because I played Funny Femmes 4 or 5 times now, and I'm usually victim, but playing detective is also very fun.
Yeah. Yes, you got to. Yeah. Yes. Yes, and.
Yes, and.
Yes,
All right.
and.
Any final words?
I hope that I wasn't too rambly for you all. I hope that Christian wants to have me back. Maybe Charlie and I will Zoom in.
I've been thinking about Zooming, especially with like the OKC and you and Charlie out in Utah.
Yeah, now you've got Utah, OKC. You've got you got here. Yeah, we are taking over.
I know. We need to establish a Utah branch.
Oh. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Things are already in the works.
Oh, no, it's not. They're not. But yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need a Utah branch because then we can bring everybody to Salt Lake and Sundance and whatever.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
This is the awkward part where I have to get up and go turn everything off.
I'm gonna stare.
Yes, do that.
As if it's already